Tattoos are obviously a culture I enjoy partaking in. If you've ever seen one of our full videos before featuring me, you've probably noticed that I have this arm mostly tattooed, I've got part of this arm tattooed, and by far one of the most important questions that you can ask as someone who has a tattoo or is thinking about getting a tattoo is, how can you make sure your tattoo stays as good looking as it can for as long as it can? And so although I usually do some men's grooming videos or beard grooming videos on this channel, today I thought I would do something a little bit different, something a little bit geared more towards my interests, and tell you guys about how you can keep your tattoo from fading as much over time. So this video is obviously going to be geared more towards people who have tattoos or are thinking about getting tattoos either now or in the future. And so if you fall into any of those categories, or if you're interested in tattoos in general and want to learn a little bit about them, then you're going to want to keep watching. As you'll probably also notice today, I've got a little bit of a sunburn here on my face and some on my neck. That's because I just finished the MSF the other day. But that actually brings me into my first major point about how you can keep tattoos from fading, and that is avoiding sun exposure. Even though I've got burns here on my face and my neck, I don't have any on my arms, and that was because they were completely covered. And you've probably seen that if you leave anything that's dark colored, maybe a rubber tire you see on the side of the road or anything like that, out in the sun for too long, it actually starts to lighten up in color. And this is what we call getting sun bleached. And this is because the sun emits ultraviolet rays which can actually break down chemical bonds and reduce the color and depth in things. And so avoiding sun exposure is obviously going to be super important for a tattoo, any tattoo really, and there are really only two ways you can do this. The first one is obviously layering up and wearing some kind of clothing over your tattoo. But let's say you're at the beach and let's say you want to show off your tattoo, and let's say you don't want to wear restrictive clothing, either it's too hot or for whatever reason you just want to show your tattoo to the world, and I totally get that. The next best thing you can do is obviously use sunscreen. This is just going to block a lot of the harmful rays that can actually damage the ink as well as the saturation in the tones of the tattoo you have. The higher the SPF, generally the better, because you'll be blocking more of those harmful rays. You'll be making sure that your tattoo can stay as legible, as bright, and as good looking for as long as possible. So generally I will actually apply a sunblock anytime I know I'm going to be out in the sun. Is it a little bit of extra work every day? Yes, it is. But it's going to be worth it knowing that 10 years from now, 20 years from now, I have a better looking tattoo because of it. Alright, the next thing that you can do to make sure your tattoo looks as good as possible for as long as possible is moisturizing all the time. You want to apply a nice lotion to your skin over your tattoo once it's fully healed, and this will just make sure that your skin stays soft and supple, that nothing dries, cracks, bleeds, or anything like that. If you have ever had chapped lips in your life, you probably know that dehydration can cause things like bleeding, issues, cracks, anything like that. Depending on the location of your tattoo, this can be a huge problem. And so I encourage you to moisturize with a lotion anytime after you get out of the shower, because most people tend to like taking warm showers, but warm showers also dehydrate your skin. If you've ever felt like your skin was tight or anything like that after a warm shower, that's what's happened. You also want to hydrate and moisturize anytime you go out in the sun, anytime you do any kind of physical activity, and this can be as simple as taking a little bottle of lotion with you and just squirting some on and wiping it. Is really that quick. And now speaking about hydration, we talk about moisturizing the outside obviously with lotion. Now I want to talk about you hydrating, you getting enough water. Because even though we moisturize the outside, we also need to make sure that we have enough moisture from the inside. Now this essentially accomplishes the same thing. It keeps your skin healthy, it keeps your skin hydrated and moisturized, but no amount of moisturization you do with lotion can help you if you yourself aren't hydrated enough to keep your skin soft and supple in the first place. So just make sure you drink enough water throughout the day. This is going to vary obviously based on how much you weigh, how much you eat, how much activity you do, but a little research will tell you exactly how much water you should be drinking, and that will help keep your tattoo looking as good for as long as possible. Now essentially the only other thing, and most people find themselves having to do this after a certain amount of time anyways when they have tattoos, are getting touch-ups. Generally, a tattoo artist will offer touch-ups to their clients based on the way the tattoo heals. As a tattoo artist is doing their work, it's really hard to tell how the tattoo is going to heal in certain places, especially areas where the skin is thinner. And this is just because it's harder to pack color when you're tattooing someone in those areas. So touch-ups are going to help keep your tattoo looking pretty fresh, pretty consistent consistent over time, so you have no areas that are lightening up too much as opposed to other areas. You can also redo some lines that may have been blurred out a little over time, and generally it'll help give your tattoo a sharper look. Now there's only one other thing that'll actually really help give your tattoo some longevity and some lifespan, and that is actually following the correct way to heal your tattoo. Chances are your artist gave you instructions on how to properly follow and get through the healing period of your tattoo. This is generally the first few weeks, even through 6 months, it takes your skin to heal completely after getting a tattoo. Generally what this means is taking off whatever wrap that they decided to wrap your tattoo with, washing your tattoo with unscented soap pretty much 3 times a day, as well as applying some kind of lotion or ointment to the tattoo after you wash it. This just helps keep bad bacteria out, it helps keep your tattoo moisturized and fresh, and helps your blood and skin form over the damaged areas. And if you follow all those steps and you do it to a T and you take care of your tattoo and you don't bump it or rub it on too many things, you don't wear too tight clothing that could rub it and irritate it, then chances are your tattoo is going to heal just fine. And it'll be looking good for years to come. So hopefully with some of these tips I helped keep you and your tattoos fresh and away from fading or anything like that. Make sure you use sunscreen, make sure you get hydrated, make sure you use lotion, and follow the correct procedure for healing your tattoo given to you by your tattoo artist. And if down the road you see something that needs touching up, just go do it. It's that simple. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little video. If you were curious about tattoos or how to keep tattoos looking as good as they can be for as long as possible, I hope I gave you that information. And if you feel like there's something I missed, leave it down in the comments. We'd love to hear it. If you guys like this video, please hit like and subscribe. We got plenty more coming for you. And if you're curious about more tattoo videos, I can do tons of them. Just let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more, or if you have any questions in particular about tattoos, about keeping tattoos good, and I'd love to make some of those videos for you. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next one.